Hello all, welcome to Gurukul CAT 100 series, a series designed to take you from your study room to your corporate boardroom. I am Deepak and this is Daily Quant with Deepak. Hi everyone, welcome to day 16. Today we'll be discussing 5 questions from geometry. So whenever a question appears on the screen, pause the video, try solving that question. Once you're done solving, you can resume the video. Now coming to the first question, the lengths of the medians of an isosceles triangle are 6, 4.5 and 4.5. Find the area of the triangle. Right. So we are given with the lengths of the medians and we are asked to find the area of the triangle. Now area of a triangle will be equal to 4 by 3 into area of the triangle formed by the medians of the triangle. Right. So if you know this formula, we can find the area of the triangle formed by the medians into 4 by 3 will give us the area of the triangle. Now, which formula can we use to find the area of the triangle formed by the medians? We can use Heron's formula, which is area is equal to under root S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C, where S is the semi-perimeter. So given with all the three sides of a triangle, I can use Heron's formula to calculate area of the triangle formed by the medians into 4 by 3 will give us the area of the triangle. First, let's find the value of semi-perimeter. 6 plus 9, 15. So S is nothing but A plus B plus C is the perimeter of the triangle by 2 gives us the semi-perimeter. So sum of the three sides, 6 plus 9, 15, 15 by 2, 7.5 units or 7.5 units here. Right, so we have the value of S. So area of the triangle would be 4 by 3 into under root S 15 by 2 into 7.5 minus 6, 1.5, which is nothing but 3 by 2 into 7.5 minus 4.5, 3 into 3 again. So this would be 4 by 3 into, now I can bring 1, 2 outside. I can write 15 as, right, 5 into 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 3s. So I can bring 2 3s outside and you will be having 5 in the square root. So I can cancel these two. 2 2s 4. So 2 into 3 6. 6 root 5 should be the answer for this question. Hence option C. Simple formula to calculate area of a triangle given with lengths of the medians of the triangle. Now coming to the second question. Radii OA and OB divide the circle into two sectors. So let this be O, OA, OB. You have two sectors here. This with a central angle of 60 degrees and this has a central angle of 300 degrees. Now find the ratio of the areas of largest circles that can be fitted inside each of the two sectors. So this is the largest circle that could be fitted in this sector, and this is the largest circle that can be fitted in the other sector. We are asked to find the ratio of their areas. So if the radius of this circle, if I consider that as r, and if this is smaller, so we need to find the ratio of pi r square is to pi r square, or simply the ratio of square of their radii, right? Now let me consider this length to be 2r. Okay, this be the center of the circle. If I consider this as r, this will be r. 2r is the diameter of the circle, which is also the what, radius of the larger circle, right? Now if this is 2r, this should also be 2r, right? And let the radius of this smaller circle be smaller, right? So this is r and this would also be r. Now this total angle is 60 degrees, right? Now when we know that at the point of tangency you have a right angle, so this is 90 degrees. right? Now, since these two triangles are congruent, now I can say that these two are of equal length, because when you draw a tangent from an external point to circles, like those two tangents would be of same length, right? Now these two are radii and this is a common side. So these two triangles are congruent. So this would be 30 degrees and this would also be 30 degrees. Now if this is R, angle opposite to 30 degrees is R, right? Now this length is nothing but angle opposite to 90 degrees. Now if we have a special right angle triangle, 30, 60, 90, right? Now the side opposite to the angle is 1 units. The length of the side opposite to 60 degrees would be root 3 and the length of the side opposite to right angle would be 2 units, or the ratio of the sides would be 1 is to root 3 is to 2. Right. This is true for all the right angle triangles of kind 30, 60, 90 degrees. Right. So if this is R, this would be 2R. Right. Now if this is 2R and this is R, right. So this total length is equal to 3R. Right. So we have this total length as 2R, right, which is also same as 2R plus R, 3R. Right. So R by R is equal to 3 by 2. Now what do we need? R square is to R square, squaring on both sides. So you have R square by R square is equal to 9 by 4. Now what was asked? Find the ratio of the areas of the largest circles that could be fitted inside each of these two sectors. So either 9 is to 4 or 4 is to 9. So you have 4 is to 9. Hence option D should be the answer for this question. Now coming to the third question. It takes 18 minutes to paint the outer surface of a cube. So you have a cube here and it takes 18 minutes to form, to paint the outer surface of the cube. So you have six faces. So 6 into area of each face. So to paint that much area, it takes 18 minutes. Now this cube is cut into 216 smaller identical cubes. So now since it is mentioned that this was cut into 216 smaller identical cubes, I'll consider the side of the cube as 6. Right. So when you cut this into smaller identical cubes, you will get 216 smaller cubes of side 1 unit. Right. Small cubes of dimensions 1 unit. Now you have 216 cubes. Now these 216 smaller cubes are separated into 3 groups. So 1, 2, 3. Such that in each group, all the cubes can be glued together to form an individual larger cube. So these 216 smaller cubes are arranged into 3 groups and you will be able to form a cube from these grouped cubes. So you'll be able to form a cube here and cube here. Now what was asked? How much time will it take to paint the outer surface of all the 3 new cubes? So you have a cube being formed here and here. So we are asked to find the time that is required to paint all the 3 cubes. Right. Now total number of cubes should be 216. Now if I have x cubes here, right, so the volume of that larger cube will be x cube. This would be y cube and this would be z cube. Right. So if I have x cube smaller cubes, they can be arranged to form a larger cube. Now here, if we have y cube smaller cubes, that would be arranged to form a cube of side y and similarly side z. Right. So the sum of all these three should be 216. Now, if x cube plus y cube is plus z cube is 216, and for x, y, and z to be integers, there is only one solution when x is equal to 3. So 3 cube plus y is equal to 4, 4 cube plus z is equal to 5, 5 cube. So we have regrouped these 216 smaller cubes into 27 cubes, 64 cubes, and 125 cubes. So with these 27 smaller cubes, you will be able to form a cube of side 3 units. With these 64 smaller cubes, you will be able to form a cube of side 4 units. And with these 125 smaller cubes, you will be able to form a cube of side 5 units. Right. Now, what would be the total surface area of these three cubes? Total surface area of cube is 6a square, right? Because the area of each face, if I consider the side of the cube to be A, the area of one face will be A square. You have six such faces. Now, what would be the total surface area of these three cubes? That is 6A square. So 6 into 3 square 9 plus 6 into 4 square 16 plus 6 into 5 square 25. So the total surface area of these three cubes together would be 6 into 9 plus 16 25, 25 plus 25 50. So you need to paint an area of 6 into 50, which is nothing but 300 square units. Right. Now, what is the total surface area of this cube? 6 into a square. So 6 into 36, 216 square units. To paint 216 square units, it took how many minutes? 18 minutes. If that is the case, right? So how much time would it take to paint an area of 300 square units? Simple cross multiplication. So 300 into 18 by 216, right? 6 threes, 6 36, 3 12s, 12, 4 into, sorry, 25. So it would take 25 minutes. So the answer for this question should be option D. Now coming to the next question. A rectangle with perimeter 36 centimeters is such that it can be divided into squares with each side equal to 2 centimeters. Find the maximum possible area of such rectangle. So you have the perimeter of the rectangle being 36 centimeters. So the sum of length and breadth should be 18. Right. So you have a rectangle. If this is L, this is B. L plus B is equal to 18, and this rectangle can be divided into squares with each side equal to 2 centimeter. So 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters and 2 centimeters, right? And similarly like this. So this tells me that L and B, they have to be even only, right? L and B cannot be odd, because if the length of L is 9 centimeters, for example, then you cannot form squares of side equal to 2 centimeters. So L has to be even and B has to be even. Okay. Now find the maximum possible area of such rectangle. So given that L plus B is equal to 18, we are asked to find the maximum value of L and B. Right. If the sum of two numbers is constant, the product will be maximum when they are almost equal or when they are very close to each other. Right. So ideally, I can write L and B as 9 and 9. So it has to be 81. But we have a condition here. L and B, they have to be even. Right. Now, how can I write L plus B is equal to 18? L and B being even numbers such that they are very close to each other. 10 and 8. Right. So 10 into 8, 80 square centimeters should be the answer. Now coming to the fifth question, in quadrilateral ABCD, so this is A, let this be B, C and D, right? AC bisects BD at point O. Now this is point O. AO is equal to 10. Now this is 10. BO is equal to 24. This is 24. CO is equal to 32. Now this is 32. And AD is equal to 26. Now AD is equal to 26. Now find the perimeter of the quadrilateral. Right. Now if we have AC bisecting BD, OB should be equal to OD. So if this is 24, this would also be 24. Right. Now I want you to observe small logic here. If you observe AOD, right, what is the ratio of the sides? 10 is to 24 is to 26, which is nothing but 5 is to 12 is to 13. So this is a Pythagoras triplet. Right. Now, if you have a Pythagoras triplet, this has to be a right angle. So AOD is a right angle. Now, if this is 90 degrees, this should also be 90 degrees. This should also be 90 degrees. And this should also be 90 degrees. So all these four are right angle triangles. Right. So this is 26. Now, Now BOC is a right angle triangle. Now what is the ratio of the sides? 24 is to 32. 3 is to 4. Now if this is 3, this is 4, this has to be 5 units. Now if 3 parts is 24, 4 parts is 32, 5 parts should be 40. Now similarly, 5 is to 12, this should be 26. So 5, 12, 13. Right. Now you have 24 and 32. Again, 3 is to 4. So this has to be 5 parts, which is 40. Now you have lengths of the all sides of this quadrilateral. Now what was asked? We are asked to find the perimeter of the quadrilateral. So 40 plus 40, 80, 80 plus 52, 132 units should be the answer for this question.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.